highly recommend that you stop supporting the people who are lying to you in all frames. It's a very simple thing. Empower yourself and say, thanks, but I think the lies are over. I'm not listening. G'day, everybody. Alibard Jones here, founder and leader of the astral projection team, the Earth Guard. And today I'm talking about something that we all face, is that there's so many different narratives and different stories out there floating around on the internet, and all of them have a seed of truth to them. And how do you pick which one to put your faith on? How do you pick which ones to follow? Because it's all so confusing. And so today, the idea that I want to share with you is about evaluating narratives. You see, each of them, on the merits of the facts that they present, on the merit of the story that they present, they're going to create one of two outcomes. One is action, and the other one is waiting. And I just want you to balance each of your different narratives with that, because waiting is disempowering, action is empowering. So you may or may not know that I was the first person to ever question the benevolence of the Plieadians. Those guys are not really here to help us, in my opinion, but they are here to waste our time. You see, these are our brothers and sisters from across the stars, and they're here because they love us and they want us to be free, right? And when the time comes, they're going to show up and land the ships in April, October, next January, or whatever it is the story is. It keeps changing, or at least that's how I remember it. These guys are not really helping us. And that story has developed over time, but I want you to evaluate this a little bit, because that's the old story and they ran out of credibility with that story. The new story is we've got medbeds, and medbeds can do everything. You'll live forever as a 25-year-old funkster, right? Doing whatever you want to do. Your body will never deteriorate. It's a fabulous story and very enchanting. And I will say enchanting because there's so many problems with what they're saying. Did they travel, 1,000 light years or whatever it was, to come here and hang out for 1,000 years and watch their enemies eat the children of their allies, their galactic nephews and nieces? Because if we're their brothers and sisters, and our children must be their galactic nieces and nephews. So they've traveled a gazillion miles to watch the reptilians and others abuse humanity. Yeah, and they've sat on their hands for all this time. The idea that the kind of resources that they expended coming here is huge. Think of dozens of starships, all out intergalactic travel, thousands of personnel, all staffing these ships. I don't know how expensive it is to run those ships, but if it was in Earth dollars, it'd be in the billions a day. And they've come here and they're hanging around and they're doing nothing at all. What's that about? Oh, sorry, they're telling us stories that we can't really believe. Those medbed stories that go a little bit like this. We have medbeds, but we can't give them to you because we're afraid that they'll fall into the hands of the dark side. And that if they had them, then they would be too dangerous. And then I'd like you to look at something called the Order of the Black Sun. And the Order of the Black Sun drink nanotech. They drink a black liquid, apparently doesn't taste too nice, also known as black goo, which is also what our team is linking to black stone technology, which is an AI that can enter the body, take over the mind, but it will also enhance your body so you'll double your lifespan and double your IQ. Point is to make incredibly brilliant and ruthless people because it shuts down the human heart. My point is that the Dark Team already have this technology. The Black Sun already have this nanotech technology. And for the good guys to say we can't release it to the humans because it might go to the bad guys is pure nonsense. It's pure gibberish. It gets even worse because there's this thing called realpolitik. Right? I actually did my degree in international relations and international politics. And realpolitik is whoever's got the guns gets all the goodies. And so then I want you to think in terms of the Plieadians coming here and running off the reptilians and their friends. And then, I want you to see the conversation in Pleiadian High Command, who have yet to accept a channel from me, who are yet to talk to me as many times as we've tried to talk to them. They're avoiding the questions I have to offer them. Those guys, I want you to imagine sitting around the table. We've captured Earth. Think of all of the resources. Think of all of the people that we've got to deploy. Think of the technology. If we colonize this planet, we can project Pleiadian power even further into this galaxy, and the Pleiadian cause will grow forevermore. Right? But let's not do any of that. Let's not conquer it. Let's just give it to the locals because they really need it. And they've been good people. They've said Om enough times. They've prayed hard enough. They talked about 5D all day. I don't see it. I just don't imagine that's what's going to happen. Which makes the whole Pleiadian agenda total BS. Total BS. I'll tell you what's more likely. We know from our electoral system that both candidates from both parties are selected before they're elected, meaning the Black Sun chooses who's going to go on the ballot, and we can choose from one of two parties that they control. That's how elections work. If you don't believe it, then you look at politics for the last 10, 20, 30 years, and all nations are doing exactly the same thing at exactly the same time because they're taking directives from a central group. It's just how it is. There's better analysis than I'm giving you here, but you can follow that up because that's how it is. And I want you to see that every nation on the earth did exactly the same stuff to deal with the great health crisis of 2020. They didn't investigate it like they should have. They just decided to jab everybody. When actually Cambridge University and Oxford University recommend a completely different course of action in terms of how to deal with a health crisis of that nature. I can't even say the word here. They ignored their better knowledge to do what was politically expedient for the centralized group. Or should I say the deep state or the one world government. And the alien story is no different. What we're looking at here is controlled opposition. You're looking at we know that the bad guys include the reptilians, the mantoids, and the greys, right? That's very clear. And on the good side, you have the Arcturians and the Plieadians, and sometimes some other groups, they come and go, the Syrians, the Urma, whatever. Right? But those two are the mainstay. And I would suggest to you that the death cult has captured some of the people from both of those species and have cloned them so that they will speak a truth that suits the reptilians and their dark masters. They will create a complementary story, just like the opposition leader of your nation, the opposition leader in politics of your nation. They'll create a narrative just so it looks like there's actually a fight, like there's an argument, but it's not happening. You see, these two great empires are not fighting each other. Otherwise, they would not be able to coexist on the same planet. They can't both be here and be friends and maintain peace for the kinds of lengths of time that we've been watching them. It's bollocks. It's bollocks. I would suggest that the Plieadians that most people are channeling are actually a department of the dark enemy. These guys are a subgroup. These guys are a political arm. These guys are a public relations group. So that us dreamy humans can be told by our more powerful friends to just sit tight because they're going to take care of it. Don't worry, we'll look after it. We'll take care of everything, and when it's all over, we'll give you the planet back. But just don't buy it for a split second. And I don't know why everybody else does, but I'm going to show you another mirror in politics where they just keep changing the people in front, or they keep rebranding. I'm just going to show you another mirror in politics where they keep rebranding and changing the front men of the policy train that has been the same no matter which party you vote for. And so in politics, you know, like they'll have a national leader who will push the deep state's agenda until he runs out of political capital. That political capital is popularity. And the media is going to try and look after him, but at a point in time, he's just betrayed his own people far too much that anybody has any faith in him. Then they have an election or a selection, and another guy from the deep state comes in, followed by another one and another one. And they just continue the same line of policy all the way along. Now, I want you to think the same thing of different groups of aliens. Groups like the Galactic Federation of Light, which ran out of political credibility and became the Galactic Federation of Planets, which has also been prepared to be subsumed by the Galactic Federation of Worlds, and all of those groups have taken over from the same group with a different name called the Plieadians or the Plieadians Plus, or any other number of alien organizations, alien galactic federations that ran out of political capital. And a galactic federation, for it to have an overhaul every 5 years because of what reason? Corruption, because it's obsolete, it just doesn't make sense. We're talking about cultures that are tens of thousands of years old, and they need to rework their entire political situation every 5 years? No. What it is, it's a rebrand because that group ran out of political capital, i.e. popularity. And we need another group. We need the same group with a new name to show up and lead us or take us down the garden path. It's the worst thing you've ever seen. It flabbergasts me that anybody listens to these idiots. They are full of it. The truth of the matter, as I understand it, is that Earth does have some friends around the galaxy. Not many, not powerful ones. We have been invaded in the past, and we are currently being occupied. And what they're trying to do is change our culture to one far more fascist, I would say, in which the government, the media, and industry all work together in lockstep. That's the definition of fascism. They're all part of one team. And you can see it forming with Trump and Elon, where the state and the richest man in the world and the business leaders start to fuse their power and become one entity. And that's really bad news, because all of that power then gets used against us. The idea of checks and balances, which was the original design of our culture, is halted to suit the needs of the very, very powerful. But I would suggest that this also is the single party system that exists everywhere else in the galaxy that has been conquered already by these guys. And so they have invaded, they've conquered, and during the occupation, they're changing our society to one that suits them. Now, the reason they're being so slow about this is because we outnumber them massively. I do recall somebody said about colonial India, they said, I don't know why the locals don't all drag us out in the street and hang us tomorrow, said an Englishman about the Indians, because there was never anything stopping that from happening. Never. They can't rule us except by our consent. And what you're watching in international politics is a theatre designed to garner that consent. What you're watching in exopolitics or extraterrestrial politics is the same thing. They want us to support them as they lead us down the garden path into the totalitarian state. Yeah, look, I am thoroughly disappointed by a lot of the people who follow these narratives, because all of them say, sit on your hands, we'll take care of it for you, and then do the exact opposite. They let the deep state advance its interests month by month by month by month by month. There's nothing stopping them. There's nothing slowing them down. My suggestion is that you find a narrative that gives you a course of action to pursue, because there's never going to be a better time to do something. It's never going to be a better way, better moment than to effect your political will. This is, the whole world's up for grabs. And do we want it to be a totalitarian state or a freedom state? It's up to you. This is entirely in your hands. But I highly recommend that you stop supporting the people who are lying to you in all frames. It's a very simple thing. Empower yourself and say, thanks, but I think the lies are over. I'm not listening. That's my 2 cents on the topic. My love to you all. Stay well, and may the force be with you. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the video, but we also have a membership site where our astral projection team talks about all of the cool things we're doing. And the things we can't say on publicly, we can say on our membership site. So I fully encourage you to check that out. There's also some good meditations that'll enhance you. And when the split occurs, make sure that you end up on the right side of it. Yep. My love to you all. Bye for now.